Hey, what's up, everyone? What's good? It's me, Kuya Paul, once again from Embrace the Stains. Yeah, I sound different because I don't have a voice right now. Totally lost my voice. Um, Lost my voice going to pageant cheering for one of my youth at my former church. She was in a pageant called Bini Bin. I can't say it. Bini Bining Pilipinas USA. I think that's what it was. She did really good. She got second runner up. I really would recommend and suggest that you look it up. They got a Facebook page. They got a page online. Really great pageant. It was only the second year actually doing here in the U.S. The winner of the pageant actually goes on to what did I go on to? Oh, to the worldwide conference in the Philippines. It's actually kind of cool. So I'm here online. I'm gonna be playing a little bit more Minecraft, answering questions once again. I actually didn't check yet, but I'm gonna be checking to see if I got any questions actually from online or anything else. Let me see here. I don't even know if I can check my email from here. But let's say this. I did promise last time that I'll be changing up the questions. Last time I was talking about questions for youth, young adults. Ended up talking a lot about relationships, which I don't mind. It's one of my favorite things to do. Actually, let me change something right here, right now. I gotta change something over here. I gotta change the second source. Select your camera, that's fine. So you need to be 1, so we can see the whole Minecraft thing. There we go. I'm gonna be looking online, and I'm gonna be using my phone because whenever I use my Chrome on my website or on my computer, actually slows the stream down. By the way, guys, I'm actually trying. I'm setting some stuff up to actually raise some money to actually improve the stream. If you guys like the stream, I am going to be doing some kind of fundraiser where you actually can get some swag from me. I don't want to give too much away yet, but it's going to be really great. You can get some stuff from Embrace the Stains, from me, from Kuya Paul, as well as help me out, actually raise some money to improve the stream, improve the audio, start up a podcast, the whole 9 yards if you like and continue to enjoy the stream. So thanks you guys if you're coming in. I really do appreciate it. As of right now, it looks like no one's in the chat yet, so this is all straight going to YouTube. I will be putting up some stuff online once again that you guys can check out to go ahead, and if you want to, and donate and help me out with the stream to improve the audio quality, to improve the stream itself. If you do like what we're talking about and you want to support it, that's really great. I really would appreciate it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and let's find those questions. So I'm going to go online right now, and I'm changing up. Oh, I have been idle for too long. So I'm going to be looking for questions for artists. Good questions for artists. Okay, let's go with that. I'm going to be looking for some questions. How to talk to an artist. How to talk to an interviewing artist in the classroom. Got a good practice. I was looking this up the other day, and it's a lot of the questions have to do with how to be an artist, or inspirations on what you do, what artists actually do. Mainly their work and everything else that they do, such certain work that they actually do on like their own personal projects and such. And if you ever wanted to interview an artist, these are the questions that you should go through. Good questions asked artists. Good interview questions for artists. Let me go with this one. 27 questions for artists and critics. So I'm going to go with this one. And in the meantime, as you can see, I'm on Minecraft. I'm actually in my living room right now. I do need to go out. It's actually lagging a bit, and I'm kind of surprised about that. Let me see if I can change the quality right now. See if I can get it running smoother. I'm not sure if it's why it's running this way. Let me see here. Minimal, moody. Graphics fast, render distance. Here we go. Clouds off. Everything's really low. Let me see if I can just make the screen smaller, perhaps. I'll make it super small. As you can see, I play Naruto. I am a Naruto fan. Oh, and that does remind me. Speaking of comics and manga, you know what's going on this weekend? It's going to be Comic-Con. A bunch of really great artists are going to be there as well too, I'm sure. Mostly within the industry. Ooh, this is getting really slow. Or maybe I just haven't been here in a while. So I'm gonna just mow through it. I'm gonna see what I can do. My farm is getting quite big. Yeah, I haven't visited here in a while. I'm gonna see if I can split render this. Hold up. And in the meantime, how are you guys doing? I know no one's in the chat right now, so you can leave it in YouTube. How are you guys doing? If you guys have any questions, once again, you can leave it on the YouTube channel. And here we go. Here's some questions actually that are popping up. And looks like these are a lot of questions on certain artists. You know what? I'm going to have to go back. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go back to questions for youth and young adults. Because I just can't find any questions right now for artists. I'll probably do a segment probably towards the end. I'm going to be here a while anyway. So I'll probably do something towards the end, talking about artists, talking about my experience as an artist. Here's interesting. I love Google. Gives you ideas. Questions to ask a girl. What in the world? 82 interesting questions to ask a girl. 50 questions to ask your crush to see if they're right for you. Ooh, I'd like to see this one. What in the world? Okay, we're going to do this one. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to make Minecraft actually work for me. Hold up. Let me try to go to... boot it off or something. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna turn this back into let me see, let's change that source to let's see here. Let's go back into this one. Oop, sorry about that. That needs to be the camera. Oh, I can't find the camera no more. Oh, I can't undo it. Oh no. That's it. No, change the source. Source B needs to be the outside video. Oh, it's the other one. It's okay, guys. Figuring it all out. In the meantime, let's get through some of these questions. 50 questions to ask. Ooh. 50 questions to ask your crush to see if they're right for you. So, let me see. Let me go over the questions I like. Would you rather be twice as smart or twice as happy? I'd rather be twice as happy, actually. What happened the last time you cried? That's an interesting one. The last time I cried was actually at youth Oh man, yeah, I just came from a youth camp. I wasn't a youth. I was actually one of the counselors, but it was a really great experience. Oh, I love the shirt. I might actually share it on this blog. But it was a really great experience. We actually went to a Thousand Pines. It was near Big Bear. Really great Christian camp. We had over 60 youth actually attend, and it was really great, really awesome. I had a really great, awesome experience with God. Youth actually got to a lot more together, a lot more in tune with what the Lord was doing in their life, and it's really awesome. As I said before, I am a youth group leader. Hey, there you go. Hey guys. So I am a youth group leader. I've been leading youth. I'm gonna change this because I might get accosted by. There you go. I'm changing for now until I can change it back into something I can share. So, like I said before, guys, I'm a youth group leader. I've been leading youth for the past, I don't know, 10, 12 years now, something like that. Maybe longer. 2014, started youth when I was a youth. So I started youth in 2000, year 2000, maybe 1998, 1999. I'm old. I'm old, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but I am an old guy. I'm actually going to be turning 29 for the fourth time this August. I'm really happy, really excited about that. And with that too, I'm just really excited about what God's doing in my life as well too. I don't mean to ramble, guys. I'm trying to get some questions here, so I can go ahead and answer. I'm gonna have to edit some of this out. So I'll just make this one. It's like, okay, this is just a rambling podcast. But just a ramble. Let's go back to questions for youth. Um, uh, FAQs for youth. Questions for youth. There you go. Here we go. Here we go. Common questions about youth and prejudice. Ooh, that's interesting. A bunch of conversations. Here we go. So there's a bunch of conversations. What in the world? What's the name of your first favorite pizza? If you're a car, what would it be and why? If you're an animal, these are Bible study questions. If you were Baskin Robbins, what flavor ice cream would you order? Chocolate chip cookie dough and chocolate melted crunch. Those are my two favorites. Favorite cartoon? What's my favorite cartoon? Ooh, that's hard. You know what? I'm gonna ask this one. What's your favorite cartoon and why? I got several favorite cartoons actually. Personally, as I was growing up, there was X Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Naruto. Though I like reading the manga now. Batman the Animated Series is a classic. I like Naruto. The old Naruto. Shippuden, it's kind of getting too deep in the mythos that it doesn't tackle a lot of what I like into the traditional Naruto, the 13-year-old Naruto. What I liked about him was the idea and the fact that it tackled a lot of things that youth are going through, a lot of generational gaps, a lot of acceptance issues, and it's one of the reasons why I really like Naruto. One of my favorites Naruto stories was his fight between him and the genius Neji. No, I'm rambling, so hopefully some of you guys are nerds and you might know. So Neji has this really specific power called the Gyaku. It's able to read power chakra, which is the power that they use actually within from the mythos of the Naruto manga, the Naruto story, and it's able to read movements and powers and power levels and everything. So he's able to read everything that Naruto can do, but the one thing that he couldn't read was his emotion, his guts, and the willingness to never give up. But if you ever get to see it, it's actually really cool. I really like the short series within the actual Naruto series between him and his fighting. Naruto's fighting Neji. Really nice. And it's just one of the many things I really like about it because it always tackles serious issues. Not to get too much into it, but yeah, that's another thing. not so small. Once again, guys, just rambling. What makes a house an actual home? Oh, here we go. What makes a house an actual home? There's a lot of things that make a house a home, but definitely love makes a house a home. And it's an interesting thing. We talked a little bit about this in camp. There are things that create unity within a home, within a church, within a group of people. One basic thing is the idea of love. The Bible talks about how love covers a multitude of sins. It's one of the things that really binds a family together, because families are going to make mistakes from top to the bottom, from the kids to the parents. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make a lot of right decisions. There's going to be a lot of miscommunications. But one thing that can cover all the mistakes that can be made within a family is love. I really do believe that. And I think this is a really good question. What makes a family? It's interesting. Going back, I'm just going to dive into it. Going back, especially in relationships, the whole idea of just like love, communication, creating a family. I thought about this the other day, about looking for that special someone, that special woman, special girl, whatever, in your life. And I thought about it, and I thought that a lot of times we look for, you go still when you're looking for someone, you're looking for a relationship, you're looking to be with somebody, you're looking for a boyfriend, when you should be looking for a husband, you're looking for a girlfriend, you should be looking for a wife. And what's really interesting about that, looking for that next step, is I don't want to ramble too much on this, but basically, when handling relationships, when going and trying to find a relationship, there's this, you need to go for the long haul. I'm going to say it that way. You need to go for the long haul. The old traditional way, since I'm Filipino, the Filipino way, going for it, it's a very European, like old school European, even Spanish way. But you know, like the old school way. Let's just say that old school way. Old school way. It's courtship. And courtship is an interesting thing because it goes beyond the idea of just dating. It goes beyond the idea of just hooking up. Courtship, in its essence, is it has a goal. There's a job. And when the difference between kind of dating and courtship, dating is you try to kind of get to know each other. You date to create a relationship. For courtship is basically I am starting a relationship off with you because I see that you may be the potential of the last and yet also the first part of our real relationship, which is marriage in that sense. So courtship is you're looking for a husband and wife. Dating is you're just looking for someone to with boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Man, I don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, the difference between courtship and dating. It's the difference between looking for a boyfriend or a husband, looking for a girlfriend or a wife. Let me look at some of these other questions. There's another really interesting question over here. Oh, what is your favorite teacher and why? I used to have a teacher actually. I'll tell this story. His name is Mr. Widows, and this was back in high school, way back in high school. And I really liked him. He was my science teacher, chemistry teacher. I didn't like chemistry, but I liked him. I liked the way he taught, because you could really tell that he cared about the students. Now, I liked him because he had a lot of integrity. And I'll tell you why I know that. I know it because he got fired from his job 2 years after receiving it. My junior year, before I turned senior, I found out that he was being fired and let go at the end of the school year because supposedly he was failing one person within his class that happened to be the son of the dean at the time. I'm going to tell you what school I went to and everything like that. I don't want to get in trouble. I although it's been 15 years. But he had a lot of really great integrity because he would not falter, he would not fail within this decision to fail that person's son, even though it cost him his job. You could tell he was sad. He only one year. He had planned routes, him and his wife. You could tell he didn't want to leave. He loved the students that were there. He had committed wholeheartedly to the move that he made, but then he still had to leave. And it was sad. But at the same time, I liked that about him because he had this idea of integrity, this idea of just not not caring what other people thought about him to try to fit in, but having that integrity. And he was Christian. That's what I loved about him as well too, because he was unapologetically Christian, although he didn't really do too much in terms of the outreaches within the school. He wasn't really part of the clubs that were within the school. He personally would show that he was undoubtedly a Christian man. And because of that, he had its integrity. Is that a word? He had to keep his integrity. And that's one of the things I liked about him. I love Mr. Little. He was legit. He was a legit teacher. So, really great. I hope he's still teaching. And let's see if I can find some other questions. If you could relive your childhood, how would you like to be different? I would like to. I actually wrote a poem about this. I wrote a poem about this. It's like, what would I tell my younger self? And it's funny because what happened in the poem is that my younger self ended up encouraging me now. Because one of the things that I want to change is the idea of not letting go of my child like demeanor, of always hoping, always caring. One thing I would like to change, I guess, would be not caring about what other people thought in the sense of it affecting my life and my life's success in terms of following the Lord. And what I mean by that is, I had a lot of things affect me when I was young. A lot of things. One of the main things, that's the struggle with today. And thank the Lord, I'm actually improving each and every day with it. But one of the things I still struggle with it today is my weight. And I had so many people throughout my life, especially when I was a kid, telling me I was fat, I was too this, I was too that. And I still sometimes let it affect me. I would love to tell my younger self, hey, don't even worry about what other people tell me. Just worry about what God told me. And it's funny, when I look at other things, like compared to where I am now and when I'm trying to lose, I lost a lot of weight in the past 6 to 7 months. And I'm finally getting to a point where I actually have a rhythm of at least a somewhat healthy lifestyle. I wasn't really that bad when I was a kid. Like in middle school and high school, people used to call me fat, people used to call me big. And I look at my pictures, I'm like, I wasn't that big. I was maybe busted at the most, but I wasn't that big. And I wish someone told me, or at least when someone told me, I wish I believed that I just wasn't that big. That it just didn't matter. Where I was exactly what God needed me to be. And then and especially when I was a kid, you act like a kid. I know the sores in me. I didn't have the sores and pains now that I have then. I didn't have that many. But one, I could do everything. Which someone just told me, and I believe it. I wish I would believe when people say you're not fat, you're not this. I wish I did. But back then, I believed it. And it affected a lot of things. It affected my confidence, my self-esteem. It affected the idea of me having a relationship and my confidence in that. And even to this day, I do believe in Savior. It's the Lord's will as well too. And never had a girlfriend, never had a serious relationship. Because there's always that underlying thing that's like, because there's always excuses like, you're too this, you're too that, you're not enough money, you're not enough this, you're too big, you're too whatever, And let it affect me. If there's one thing that I want to encourage, it's the idea that whatever people tell you, I learned this just a couple of months ago, or at least we learned it a couple of months ago, is that you can filter out the things that people tell you. It's not to say that you should abuse it. It's not to say that if people really do want to help you, that you shouldn't listen. It's that there's some things, some opinions that people have about you that shouldn't even matter. It really shouldn't matter, and it shouldn't have it affect you at all in that sense. You shouldn't have what people tell you, how people actually discourage you. You shouldn't have it affect you in the sense that you're going away from what God's plan is for you. So someone tells you, because God says that you're vegetables. God says that you're beautiful and made. Someone tells you that you're a failure. God says that you're a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. Like peculiar means you're original. There's no one else like you. You are a masterpiece. You're a work of art. And we need more people to actually pour out that kind of mentality, especially nowadays. Again, I wish someone did that to me. And there's a lot of stuff that actually do pour out into me that I end up keeping. It's while I'm still a youth minister to this day. That's why I still love God to this day. Because there were some words that I took in as like, you know, that is for me. And we need to kind of remember that. I forget what the question was. Let me see here. Oh, relive my childhood. Yeah, but that's one thing that I would love to really share about, especially for people who are still in their trauma, they're still teenagers, still going through stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, just like what I talked about in the beginning, just in case I cut that out in the beginning because it's rambling a lot, I'm saying now. I just came not came just now, but a couple of days ago, sometime this weekend, I actually went to a pageant of Beanie Filipinas. Just a bunch of young ladies actually competing within the pageant, and you could see the confidence that was endowed onto them. See, here's the thing. Especially within pageants, and especially within competitions like that, there's a sense that a journey had been made to get to that certain point. There's this viral video that's going on right now. The whole American Ninja Warrior with this young lady. She's like 5 foot something, like 5'2". She's kind of short, but she was able to pass and surpass all the obstacles within the Ninja Warrior course that are usually close to impossible to actually defeat on your own. But she was able to do it. The thing is, and this is what I liked about the commentary that they did, this is what I liked about looking at each young lady that actually went through Flight Entire Passion, completing the series of events that led up to that event, that coronation night at the very end, is you know that in between was a journey. In between was an idea, was a word that was a part of it. That you are able. You're able to do it. You are beautiful. You are strong. And yeah, I'm talking a lot about girls right now. Guys too. I mean, yeah, I'm talking about myself. There were words that would not seep into me, and yet to some people, especially for these people that I'm talking about right now, those words seeped in, and the journey had to be made. What I mean by the journey is when you get a word, it's like when you get a word, it's like a seed that when planted has time to grow and process. Because a lot of times, when you get a word like that, like you're beautiful, you're lovely, you're strong, you're excellent, you are made on purpose, you can't see it. You know what I mean? What I mean is, when a word is implanted to you, when you see it a lot away from the Word of God, when a word is implanted onto someone who wants to follow the Lord, sometimes in that span of time, you're starting the story at the beginning. It's like reading a book. Start the story at the beginning, you introduce the characters. It's all exposition. But you know a change is about to occur. Well, without change, there's really no story. I'm reminded with one of my favorite characters, so much so that I use his moniker a lot, actually, within my emails and my usernames and such. But the story of Gideon. Gideon, during his time of hiding, during his time of shame, was the least of his clan. An angel of the Lord appeared to him. An angel of the Lord, I don't want to get too technical. Basically, God himself appeared to him, to Gideon, and said, Behold, my mighty man of valor, my mighty man of integrity, my mighty man of honor. And what's really great is that you see this element, this seed that's planted just by that word. Well, God sees Gideon as a man of valor, a man of honor, a man of strength, a man of integrity. Even though he's the least of his own clan, even though he's hiding from his enemy and shame, he sees a potential. And that's what I'm talking about. When I went to the pageant, I don't want to talk too much about it, because I wasn't a part of it. I was just there as a visitor. But what was nice about a pageant, I guess it was nice about all pageants, is that when you look at the confidence that those ladies, the women, portray on stage, there's this element of knowing that they had gone through a lot. They have gone through a journey. They've gone from a moment when someone implanted the seed that says, You are beautiful, you are lovely. And there's this task that now needs to be taken. Kind of reminded of the city of Esther. Esther, in essence, if you think about it, if time were not an issue, I don't want to go to physics on it, but if time were not an issue, Esther was already queen. Now understand, in the biblical story of Esther, she is taken out from her family. She's given 2 years of preparation to become worthy of being within the presence of the king. She had to basically do all the training that was necessary to become queen, but she wasn't even queen. And then she had to go through a selection process where the king actually selects her. But if time were not an issue, Esther was already queen, but a journey needed to be made. A journey needed to be made from this point where someone says, You are going to be queen one day, to the point where King Xerxes, I think the king of Babylon, King Xerxes actually looks at Esther and says, You're going to be my queen. It's the funny thing too, and I don't want to get too much into this, but it's a funny thing too because everyone around her starts to change. Xerxes starts to change. She's supposed to change. Mordecai and his fate, which is Mordecai's uncle, his uncle Esther. Mordecai is fate because he was actually fated to die. He was fated to be executed, him and the rest of Israel people. But because of what Esther had done, she ended up changing the fate of everyone around her, including the parents, her family, and everyone else. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone planted a seed and you see it grow. Someone planted a seed and said you're loved. Someone planted a seed and said you're strong. Someone planted a seed and says you are mighty. When someone plants a seed, you need to let it in. If you let it in, you let it grow. It's who, let me phrase this correctly, it's not just who you become, but it was who you were originally made to be. When I went to the pageant, you see the ladies on stage and you think of the journey. But a lot of times you have that, well, I don't want to say that negative, but basically, let's say it this way. All the ladies, all the women that were on that stage, they deserve to be on stage. They deserve it. They deserve to be on stage. For even just one simple reason that they chose to be there. They chose to take the task on. They chose to say yes. Yes to the vision, the seed that was planted in them. It's like, yes, someone called me beautiful. I believe it. That's the word. And it could be one of two things. Either it's a word that grew into them, it's something that they didn't believe, perhaps even something they thought they couldn't be. Or, this is what I really want to say, it could be that the word that was implanted was really their own DNA. that when it seeped in, it said, someone told me, hey, you're beautiful, you're lovely, you're strong, you're mighty. When they took it, it was who they were, and they recognized who they really were. Although the rest of the world may tell them they're not, it's who they really were. You know what I mean? I mean is, another guy, bro, I'm not talking about him, I don't know this guy. He's really nice. I haven't been in a while. I'm watching on TV anymore. But, I mean, going over there was really encouraged. Because, you know what? If you let the Word of God, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here. You guys ready? I'm going to go into the Word of God. Go into the Word, and you let the Word talk into you. There's a big change that happens. And you let the Word seep into you. And when God says that you are beautiful, when God says you are wonderful, when God says you are chosen, if you let it seep into you, you'll find one really great thing. And it's not that you become beautiful, you become wonderful, you become chosen. It's that you had already been made to be there. You've already been made to be there. You have the DNA, you have the structure, you have the blueprint. You just have to realize it. You just have to realize it. Does that make sense? If you realize it, see, this is the thing. Once you realize that it was really who you need to be, then everything changes. We'll make the story of Esther because I think it's a really great story in lieu of what we were talking about, like the real life match that happened next week. The story of Esther was that she realized right there. She realized this is who I am. I got the sun like in the anyway, it's like a spotlight. But anyway, if you realize this, if you realize that you are because God made you are strong. Because God made you strong. It changes the whole aspect of everything, especially in your life. Going back into my original plans, going back into there's one thing I can tell to my younger self is to realize God's word before any other word seeps in. So here's the trouble now. Here's the trouble. Because if you do listen to this podcast, I really encourage people to listen to this podcast. Not because of my words, not because of me, but because I feel like someone out there, one of y'all that's hearing this, need to hear this. You were made to be beautiful. You were made to be strong. Those are the two words. You were made to be strong. You were made to be beautiful. For ladies, you were made to be beautiful. Don't let anyone else tell you that. For gentlemen, you were made to be strong. You were made to be loved. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. That's not to say you should have a project about it, but it's to recognize how God has really made you. So the trouble is, there's too many people telling you that you're not strong, you're not mighty, you're not beautiful, you're not lovely. But you are. That's the way God made you. He made you that way. You have the blueprint. That's why when you hear that word, you want to believe. You know why you want to believe those words? Because they're true. You know why you want to believe those words? Because that's who you are. It's who you are. That's why when someone calls us to be beautiful, to be strong, when we're given circumstances to be beautiful, to be strong, to be mighty, to be lovely, when we're given these circumstances, that's why we shine. We're made for those circumstances. We're made to show our strength. We're made to show our faith. We're made to show our resilience, our might. We're made to show our loveliness. We're made to show the masterpiece that God has called us to be. We are made for that. I don't know. But I hope that encourages you. For real. I really hope that does encourage you. It's who you are. You're made for great things. Awesome. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm gonna be here a while, guys. Another 45 minutes, and then I gotta get ready for work. Maybe we'll stay longer. I'll tell you once the snow one's in. I'm gonna cut it right here for right now, and I'm gonna start the stream up in a couple of seconds, and then we're gonna have a new recording. So give me a second.